Now, what I seen from that game is the same thing I've been saying I've been a fan of Alabama maybe about 10 years, 10 strong years. And what I seen from that game, that Alabama and Georgia game, is nothing different, especially the last 6 years. It's nothing different. Like, I was just talking to my homeboy, and Georgia, okay, so when Alabama loses games, they're losing on trick plays. They losing to quarterbacks who can run the ball. It's just always something, a factor that they don't see all the time. That's the reason that Alabama loses. Now, I will say they lost to Michigan head up. Both times that they played to Michigan, they lost. But when you think about how they lost to Vanderbilt last year, Florida State this past couple weeks ago, when you think about Johnny Manziel, when you think about when Auburn beats Alabama, it's always a running quarterback element or some type of trick play, some type of offensive scheme that they don't see all the time. So when Georgia plays Alabama, they play Alabama like they're the same. And the problem with that is you're not the same as Alabama. Like, you still have to incorporate trick plays. And like the second half, when they started incorporating trick plays and the quarterback started to run a little bit more, like they started to get in the flow. But when you try to play Alabama heads up, you always lose. Nothing has changed over the last 5-6 years. You really could say the last decade. When Georgia tries to play Alabama straight up, you always lose. When you try to go trenches for trenches, you lose. When you try to go receiver versus DB, you always lose. You have to incorporate some type of trickery. And if you think about it, the time that they did beat Alabama was when they had Stetson Bennett and he had a passing element plus a running element. Now, did they really beat Alabama then? I'm going to just be honest with you. You know, Georgia can have the 2 championships. You can have the 2 championships. That's cool. But if you really look at all of this in totality, Kirby Smart is 1-7 versus Alabama. He really should be 0-8. The only reason he has that one win is because of J-Mo was hurt and John Mechie was hurt. A couple weeks prior to the national championship, or a month prior to the national championship, Alabama put belt to ass. With all those same players on the field, they put belt to ass. And I think J-Mo or Mechie got hurt. And Alabama still put belt to ass. Then the national championship come, both of the players out. So Kirby Smart really should be 0-8 versus Alabama. And if we're being completely honest, I don't care what nobody thinks. I think Kirby Smart would be out of there. If he lost that game, if he lost that national championship a few years back, the first title that I believe that they got, if he lost that first game, I truly believe that Kirby Smart would have been on the chopping block, because the whole reason that they fired Mark Richt is because he couldn't win big games. He couldn't beat Alabama. And so you bring Kirby Smart, and at that time he was 0-3, 0-4 versus Alabama. So what's the difference? LSU got rid of Les Miles because he couldn't beat Nick Saban. He couldn't beat him in the big games. Florida got rid of all their coaches because they couldn't beat Alabama in the big games. So what truly made Kirby Smart different? What has truly made Kirby Smart different in his whole tenure at Georgia? He's lost to Alabama every year. But because J-Mo got hurt, because Mechie got hurt, okay, boom, he got his national championship. Cool, that's cool. But let's just be real. They are 0. They're 1-7. Kirby Smart is 1-7 versus Alabama in the last however many years he's been there. That's treacherous, bro. But don't nobody want to admit that. That's treacherous, bro.